Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I look at that picture, and as Representative Levy said, Ken is in the room. Totally. I first met Ken when he was actually I met him before then, but when he was campaigning for the House. And I want to tell you that the words that Speaker Romanov read are the words that Ken lived by. He got several of us to walk with him, did he not, Ken Smith? And there was this garage at Helen and Ken's house, and the garage door opened, and there was this huge Xerox machine. I said, "Oh my God, Ken, where did you get that?" I closed my law practice. I kept it in case we needed it for the campaign. Well, my gosh, it got used and used and used, and that driveway was a huge center for walks. But Ken walked from dawn until dark, and he expected, when you were walking for him, to walk from dawn until dark as well. And you know the no soliciting sign? Oh, no, you ring that doorbell, because that is a door that you would have missed otherwise. And he walked every house, because every house was his constituent. So, he gets elected, and suddenly I'm being asked to drop this book at the end of session. And I think you had something to do with that, writing it up. Ken believed that democracy meant keeping your constituents informed. And he printed a book at the end of every session. I think it got bigger over the years, that talked about everything that happened during the legislative session. And so if you were a volunteer for Ken, that meant that you walked at the end of session and you helped drop the book. At least you didn't have to ring the no solicitation doorbells. But you did have to leave that at every door. And so 94 comes around and Ken's running again. He goes, "Are you going to walk with me?" I said, "Ken, you won by like 62, 64%. That doesn't mean I'm going to win again." So we walk again. And he wins by 70% the second election. And on the third election, "Are you going to walk with me?" "Well, Ken, there are other people running. You won by 70%. That doesn't mean I'm going to win again." And I sometimes called Ken Eeyore because he always thought that he was going to not win again. And as we know, he did remarkably well, but he lived by the words that he wrote. And continued, and I had a measly attempt, but what Ken taught me was that at the end of every session, your constituents need to know what you've done or what other members have done. And it's a fantastic bit of information that you can give your constituents. The other thing that hasn't been talked about, that is a remarkable thing that happened in Colorado, is what Ken and Helen did together. And that is changing the way we view children in this state. I may get a little teary, because I always do when I get up here. But children are not chattel to be divided up. They are their own person. We have Ken and Helen today. So it's a remarkable change that we have in Colorado in terms of child custody. So thank you, Ken. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Betty, and all of the community.
Representative or Senator